Welcome.
Hey,
Kisame Unlimited is here, back in his home. Spidey is here too.
Well, they have assumed you've been in your home.
Hey! Spidey!
But this is Could This Be Meta segment where we take an old archetype, we add 5 fantasy support cards to it, and then we discuss whether or not with the support would it be good or garbage. If you like this segment and you want to see continue, click the like button. 800 likes and this segment will continue.
And for the
title of the video,
I am doing a Could This Be Meta on Constellars.
This is his favorite archetype. Now, I don't think there's anybody alive who could do it better than him because he's been playing this shit since before they've even been released.
Yeah, I remember seeing fucking like Chaos and Zombie when they were first just announced.
No, I remember when you saw Leo and you were going crazy.
I was just like, he has those fucking glowing fucking fingernails and all that. But if this video gets 800 likes, I will do another Could This Be Meta on Evil Swarms, since they're back-to-back brothers, and I always said that Evil Swarms were so dry, I'll give them, you know, a good old fucking rinse down and make sure they're not dry anymore. You know, oil up their skin and make them good. So, now we're gonna get into the Constellars. I made 2 monsters, which are both effect monsters, 2 spells, and 1 trap card.
I just want to stop you because you said 2 effect monsters. If either of us ever makes a vanilla monster and it Could This Be Meta, we'll smack the shit out of you.
Alright, the first card is called Constellar CARTWHEEL.
Constellar CARTWHEEL, go ahead.
CARTWHEEL's a galaxy, and they're going to be like how Zombie was. Zombie's based off a galaxy. CARTWHEEL's a galaxy. So
yeah, all the signs are taken. I get you.
He's a level 2 fairy, and he has 900 attack and 1500 defense. Now, he's level 2, so you can't really overlay with him. So this is where he has his own little uniqueness. If you control a face-up Constellar monster on your side of the field, you can reveal this card from your hand to add 1 Constellar monster from your deck to your hand. That's his first effect. You could only use this effect once per turn. When this card is normal summoned, you could send this face-up card to the graveyard to return all set cards your opponent controls back to your opponent's hand. It's basically like a giant Trunade on crack, because you summon him, bounce that back, and that could be used in basically anything. But mainly use it.
That's my only thing. I was gonna say you should have had.
I know, but but the only thing is that you summon him. He's still a monster, so he's a weaker giant Trunade in the first place. But that's what Constellars do. They kind of bounce shit back. So I kind of focused it on their main strategy. And at the same time, you could just mainly keep this card in your hand, and then each turn reveal.
Is it?
Level 2, so you can't overlay with it. It's mainly just there to kill it and just fucking.
I see the consistency with the searching. You put him on the field. He kind of like helps the field a little bit, and that also helps when you get that extra normal summon. If you summon if you have not cows but zombies or the Pullix, then you get that extra summon. You get him. Pull out the field,
another reason why I wanted to do this is because if you keep this card in your hand, because Sharatin is the one that searches, he's not really a very reliable searcher because he only has 700 attack and 1900 defense. If he was a flip effect, he'd be amazing, but he's not. So.
And what type of monster is it? You said
a fairy. Very light.
If you'd have made it a beast warrior. Tanky dad.
Yeah, tankied him, but I didn't want to make him. I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to go that far on it. I didn't want to rely too much on tanky in this one.
I get you.
So the other little thing about it is that you could the way I built it was you keep it in your hand, you have a Constellar always on the field, reveal it, just search out another one. You always constantly, because you could easily summon Pollux, you don't have cows, reveal it from your hand, you search out a cows from your deck. Then you summon your cows, and then the way I also viewed it is, you keep it in your hand during each turn, you just get another free search, and then when you finally are ready to go for that game, you summon it, bounce back all the set cards on the field, and then if Pleiades or M7 you need it, then they'll just take care of the rest.
It's funny, I like that, because M7 can bring it back also to your hand, and you keep doing more moves. I get you.
Alright, now the next Constellar monster I made is called Constellar Sunflower, which is another galaxy. And it's another level.
Where are these galaxies from? But I know they are, but go ahead.
Then it's a level 6 fairy with 2500 attack and 1000 defense. Now level 6 is something that Constellar's also never done before. So, well, I don't know if they have. They might have one.
They do have one.
They do? I feel like, because I know that they have the big ones, but this is support the big ones. Well, I don't know if this one of them does it, I have to remember. But its effect is if you control a face-up Constellar monster, you could special summon this card from your hand. You could also XYZ summon using this card as a single XYZ material for any XYZ Constellar monster. That's his effect. You summon him, and literally you could throw fucking Pleiades on top of him, throw M7 on top of him, Omega, Beehive, or Hades. So you don't have to now play the level 3s to really bring this card out. Plus, if you just need an instant Pleiades, he's right there for you. He's very handy, and he's also a good special summon. You just special summon from him from your hand as long as you have a Constellar monster face up on your field. Which also gives them a little bit more spamming to what they already have, which I thought was really handy for them.
My only issue with that is with Constellars, their biggest thing, they're kind of like a toolbox deck in general.
Yeah, and that was really like...
No, I mean, that helps and everything, but I just feel like it makes the, it brings a little bit more clog to it, or like, you wouldn't need a bunch of other shit if you could just have that.
But you want to know what I also find very unique about it? It's like, let's just say if you have Pollux, Chaos, and that. You summon. I would be like, I summon Pollux, Chaos, and then special summon that, make that turn into Pleiades, and then instead of going for Pleiades, I can go for another better XYZ to go alongside with Pleiades.
That's my thing. I would have just said, I would put that a little thing like, he can only be used for XYZ summons towards Constellar monsters.
He does. He has that effect.
Okay.
He's only can do Constellar.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I'm gonna play Cyber Dragon Nova. No, play Infinity. Yeah, fuck you, GG. All right. Now for this first spell card. It's an equipped spell card called Constellar Godly Sword. Now, I wanted them to have an equipped card, but lately, anytime when you make an equipped card, it has to plus. It has to do something that make you go, oh my god, that equipped card's good, because most equipped cards go under the rug. So I wanted to go a little far with it. So its effect is, you can only equip this card to a face-up Constellar monster. The equipped monster can attack twice in one battle phase. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a face-up Constellar monster, you can remove it from play to draw one card. Now, Constellars is a very OTK-based deck if they have the opportunity, because they summon a lot of monsters. You also now have the ability to attack twice with one. You could literally be like, alright, I play Pleiades, bounce back something, attack twice 5,000, and if you kill Pleiades, I'm just gonna free draw later on, as long as I have a Constellar. But I feel like I made it bounce by you needing to have a Constellar, because I said, there are cards out there where it's like, I'll dump my whole deck and I'll just get a free search, free extra card through sending, Godly Sword to the grave, and I had to say you had to have a Constellar to make that work.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's balanced, and I feel like it gives advantage and still gives you a card in the end.
Gotcha.
Now we have a field spell for them called Constellar Supercluster, which is a cluster of galaxies. Alright. And
if you didn't know what a cluster was, not you, but anybody watching this video, just go away. Go away.
So now its effect is, all face-up light monsters you control gain 500 attack points. Once per turn, you can target one monster on either player's side of the field. Every Constellar monster becomes that targeted level. During your end phase, you could target one Constellar monster in your graveyard and special summon it with half its original attack points. Now, I made this so they get a boost in attack points by 500, also searchable through terraforming. Also, having the ability to look at their opponent and seeing if your opponent has one level 5 monster on the field, you know what? If you have, two, like a Pollux and an Elgidi, and you want Pleiades, you got it. You have the ability to make all your monsters level 5. That effect wasn't necessarily, really wasn't needed, but it's just handy to have. If your opponent has 2 level 8s and you're just tapping out Felgren in your extra deck, good for you. And that's how I did that. And I also left it during each end phase, you get a little back by being able to special summon one from your graveyard. And it could also be an XYZ, like Pleiades or something, so you could just throw M7 on top of it. So still giving some old love to the older Constellars, which I think is what really matters a lot. And then its last trap card is called Constellar Black Hole. And Constellar Black Hole is a counter trap card, and its effect is really fucked up, but I really feel like it embodies a lot of what Constellars do, and I feel like this is the last card, and its effect is, if your opponent normal summons a monster, and you control a face-up Constellar monster, you can negate the summon and return that targeted monster to the owner's hand. Your opponent cannot enter their battle phase during the same turn this card was activated. So this card cuts off your opponent's normal summons as long as you have a Constellar you control, and your opponent cannot activate and go into their battle phase.
That is very, 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 very fucked up.
It is very fucked up.
I thought Great Horn of Heaven was something, but...
But yeah, that's like you just normal summon, put it back in your hand, you can't go in your battle phase. It's fucked up. but that's what Constellars do. They literally like, all right, play something, play this, put it back.
You know what? I don't even have an issue with that because certain cards, when you say certain cards, I'd be like a real little red flag goes like, oh, that's broken, is all hell. But then I can think of another card that's currently meta that can relate to it. That's probably either the same or worse. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't that broken. Like when you saw the field card, like, oh hell no, that's broken. Then I thought of Cosmo Town. No. No, that quelled that. Then you just said that trap card. I'm like, oh my god. Then I thought of the one for Satella Knights. Their counter trap card. And I was like, nah. It was just like, nah. Sometimes like you say certain cards which really do, the support you gave them really helped them out and did. It exemplified more of what they did, which I believe they should be doing. I mean, the deck is pretty much a toolbox deck, and you kind of just gave them you gave them more possible ways to do it, a little bit more speed, and then you gave them just one little extra twist, little certain things that they can do to make them more competitive. So
I just feel like, you know what I wanted to do? I feel like Satella Knights are honestly just a better version. I just want to say, if these 5 cards were created for Constellars, and Constellars were like, we had this, and Satella Knights had that,
which one are you gonna play?
Which would you play? And would you say to yourself, I could cut off my opponent's turn, I could attack twice, I could fucking play all this shit, have Terraform search this shit. I just feel like it gives the deck like, this deck has multiple areas to go, and it's not a better version of Satella Knights. They're their own thing, and that's what it would make me happy.
It's funny to me because since I normally do like these one card family things, so it kind of, when I'm making my cards, I kind of think of the deck building, like how many of this would you want to run in the deck. So that's why I kind of like I would touch a single card because then I can add as many cards as I want in there. Because it's only a couple cards in the archetype I touch. You're touching full on archetype, so when you say these cards, I'm like, damn, now I gotta take certain things out. So it's just like that balance in the deck, which is really fun and creative. So that really adds to the conversation. What would you rather play? Constellars with the support or Satella Knights with
what they have?
Yeah.
So I hope you guys really liked the video. Don't forget to like the video, and if this video gets 800 likes, I said I will make another one in the future after Spidey, and I'll do one based off Evil Swarms, because Evil Swarms are very boring and not very creative, because they do one thing and that's it. So maybe I'll make them do something else along with that. So
another thing, 800 likes please, because honestly these videos are so hard to fucking make. Writing this shit down, making these cards, finding these images, it'd be very much appreciated if you press the like button if you haven't already.
If you
haven't already, please do. It's very much appreciated.
And leave your comments below how you feel about the support.
How you feel about it, other suggestions for other archetypes that could this be meta, please.
Yeah, subscribe, because we want more subscribers for
whatever year this video gets uploaded.
Yeah, whenever this gets uploaded.
2032.
Do we have 30 yet? Do we have 30,000 yet?